SPM-600. We never want to use the overview to look at our control schemes and see how everything is reacting. This overview, it doesn't have any of your valves on it. It's missing half your controllers and so forth. So you can use it to look at the equipment. Okay. So flip through the schematic pages. Hit this arrow. So this is the pumping system that is added to this, the 600. To start or stop a pump, hold on, let me mute. To start or stop a pump, I clicked on it, double clicked on it, run. Now it's running. Double click on it, stop. Now it's stopped. Most of the control boards are gonna have green or red or something along those lines. I don't know, a lot of people have switched to gray kind of themed, black and gray, but green or red say indicating on or off. But okay, so this is that, remember we did the mixed tank system, that was the 300 that had the AIC on it, and it had your C6, C7 flow, FIC, I need to turn my eyeball off, FIC 201, that's the same flow controller that's controlling your C6 on that mixed tank in SPM 300, okay? This FIC is the same one controlling your C7 flow on your mixed tank schematic. You see how it says from, it has an arrow. Some won't have arrows necessarily, but you see AI from, because the arrow, AIC 306. And you remember that from the bottom of your mixed tank, right? Okay. These are going to be, we're just going to call them XVs because you can operate them from the board. So, and y'all all remember what an XV is, right? XV? What is it? It can be air controlled too. So, but it's an open closed valve only that the board controls. It doesn't throttle. Okay, so see here, AIC, and then it has the dash lines with the arrow going to the pump schematic or going to the flow valve on the C7 supply on the pump schematic. It used to be on the same page and they changed it. It's one thing I hate that they changed. Okay, so you know that it's controlling the flow on the C7 supply. You know there's a flow control valve controlling the flow of your C6. This are not controlling the flow. They're open close only to isolate if needed. Good on that? So shutting off on these exercises, when I tell you to shut off the pump, I'm saying it as if you have no flow. I'm not saying it as if the spare pump is going to kick on. That's not the scenario I'm asking for, okay? And it doesn't show us any interlocks to show that that spare pump would kick on, right? So it wouldn't. Okay, so we remember how all this works. We remember how the flow going in is going to affect our level. Yeah. If we shut off one of them, will it affect our level? One of the lines, will it affect our level? Yeah. If we shut off, and then what do you think it'll have that valve do that's downstream? Remember, the valve was right here. Now it's showing further down. Close. It pinch back, right, to try to maintain level. Now remember, one of these lines, if you close it, it affects the other flow. The C7 flow, right? If you close the C7 flow, does it affect the C6? Look at your control schemes, right? What's controlling the flow of C6 and flow of C7? Okay? From there, we got our heat exchanger. We know how that works, right? If we have more flow, if we had less flow coming in right here, that's less process that we need to heat, right? What are y'all fiddling while I'm talking?
Yeah, he was helping do the closing bomb. We got to close that box. We figured it out.
What are y'all closing?
He didn't know how to get to the second page.
The arrow. Okay. So if we decrease flow here, would we need to heat as much? Will we need as much heat? So if we have about half as much flow coming in, what do you think this valve's gonna do?
Push back.
Yeah, it's gonna, so if its output is 24, and we cut the flow coming into our mix tank to half, because they're about half, 50-50. One's, let's see. One is 158, one's 140. We'll call it half, okay? Half and half. So if we cut half the flow coming in, what do you think the output? If we cut half the flow going in, what's the output of our level cascade control? The level one on the previous. I'm sorry. What's the output gonna end up being here if we have half the flow? About half? Okay. And then what's the output gonna be here if we have half the flow? Half. It's gonna cut back the thermal about half because we have less product we need to heat, right? Alright, and then, so I was right earlier. This flow valve is coming from the flow controller that's cascaded to the level controller. For your mix tank. Okay? And that used to be on the same page too. They wanted, I guess, make it more realistic, but to me, if we're using it as a learning tool, let's make it easier to learn, and then you can go further, right? Okay, so if I see for one that's controlling your level, right? It's cascaded to your level. And then that's controlling the flow going in here. Okay? And then, so if we cut off C7, right? We got about half the flow leaving the mix tank. How much flow we got entering our flash tank then? Half. What's this output gonna end up at then to maintain level about? About half, and then this one? Make sense? Okay, now y'all can fiddle. You can stop it.